We don't have it decorated yet, but I bought a new tree.
Yeah.
And my wife is really upset because I got it too big. And so
Oh,
we
you
had
did?
to, yeah,
Shocker.
we had to move. We had to move.
We had to buy a new house.
Cut a hole in the roof.
And you can get Listen Up for only $14.99.
So James does leads our band at our contemporary services. And one of the things, we'll talk about whatever in the world you want to talk about, James. And as you notice, if you're watching on Channel 5 live today or on YouTube, you know that James brought a guitar, which just means he's going to sing at some point.
Oh, maybe
so if
I
you're
should
listening,
tune it.
you're in for a treat. But I will, the first thing I'll ask you is that one of the things we talked about several years ago, or we're bantering around, is like, I really wanted us or someone at Chapelwood to think about writing their own music that is about this place, or is about our Methodist theology, or about our, you know, that kind of tie that together. And lo and behold, James was like, "Oh man, that sounds like
Pick me, yeah, I'll do it."
Pick me.
And so it was just it was a fascinating thing. Talk a little bit, because you've now, I know since we had that conversation, you have actually written some original songs that you've played on Sunday mornings that people have come to love. We'll talk a little bit more about the album that's coming out soon, but just talk about this whole process of you starting to write music at Chapelwood, thinking in terms of, I guess the question is, how do you, not how do you write a song, but like this whole journey into this. Yeah. Just talk about that.
The evolution of it. Yeah. It has definitely been a journey. You know, what's crazy is I used to kind of write songs, not like worship songs or anything, but, you know, in like high school, college, just for fun.
For chicks.
Yeah, that's
Right,
true.
we understand.
No, that's
The
real.
ladies love the rock and rollers.
That's very true. But you know, I guess since working at churches over the years, so much of my creative energy, I guess, has just been so fulfilled. I mean, I love doing this. But you know, worship songs and arranging, you know, there's a lot of arranging and planning and stuff like that. And so I really didn't write for years until probably soon, you know, around the time we started having those conversations, maybe a little bit before that. But since, you know, these ideas have kind of taken shape, like, it's been crazy. It's been like the floodgates turned on. I mean, I have musical ideas all the time. It's crazy when people ask me about my process or whatever. I don't really have a set process, but they ask me, you know, where are you writing these songs? I'm sure they're imagining that I'm in some like studio, you know, with a piano or computer or something. But honestly, the place that I write the most would be in the car and behind the wheel while I'm driving, because it's just in my head. I'm like, you know, an idea or even just a verse from scripture or something. That
Do you
like,
record
that could
it?
be, yeah. I have a whole thing of voice memos on my phone that are literally in the car. I'm like just singing a little melody or something before I forget it, because I will forget it. And so it's been awesome, you know, just being able to first of all, like you said, write songs for Chapelwood, but hopefully bigger than just you know, one church, and also writing some worship songs that are a little bit more focused on these themes of grace and, you know, the Wesleyan kind of theology that you know, worship. There's some great worship songs out there, but they're not all necessarily, you know, right down the line of John Wesley.
Well, and you know,
Thinking,
it's
and
just
that's okay.
or even Orthodox Christianity, not necessarily just John Wesley. Some of it's just like
Bad.
Yeah. And it's
There's bad hymns
well,
out
there's,
there too,
there's
but-
bad, and then there's bad that you have to sing over and over and over
Right.
and over.
The 7-11, that's you know, 7 words 11 times in a row. That's kind of the joke about you know, praise and worship.
7-11.
7-11. That's funny.
Like I
We do a
really
few of
like I like the Good Father song, or wasn't that what's Good Father?
Yeah.
But man, after once or twice, I'm like, dude, we got to move
We got
on.
it.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
it. Check.
I know it.
Good Father.
Waymaker, some of those, you know,
That's who you are.
that's-
That's who you are.
Right.
That's who you are. That's who
How
you are. It's like
repetitive
somebody
can it
kick the the record
jukebox.
player.
You know, it is an interesting thing to think about when you compare to like some of these hymns that I grew up, you know, singing in church, and we do a lot of hymns in contemporary as well. But you'll have these very dense, lyrically, you know, rich texts and stuff. But you know, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit more simplicity that someone can walk out of a worship service and remember.
What's the first one that you remember writing that you were influenced about this place or about this whole thought process? What was the first song that came out, do you think?
That's a great question. You know what? I think it was.
I don't want the first song you ever wrote.
No. I remember after we started kind of talking about some of this stuff, I think the first one I did, which we haven't done in a while, is an arrangement of How Firm a Foundation. We used to do the one that was like, I'm right here with you, be not afraid. It was like this little chorus that I put onto the How Firm a Foundation. Yeah, it was just an arrangement, you know, with a little modern chorus added onto it.
A flair to it.
I think that was the first one. Yeah. We did it for a while. But yeah, you know, I love being able to take again a hymn, because I grew up singing nothing but hymns in church and gospel songs and stuff like that. But it's great to be able to take a old hymn like that and put something new with it, or even just put it in a little bit different style that's still the same melody and words and everything, but maybe with just like a interesting beat to it or something. It can just help, you know, reintroduce it in a new way. There's one on the album coming up that we've done in church a lot called Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior, but it's in a totally different style, you know, than most people. I grew up here in Pass Me Not, very reflective and quiet, and this is not the style.
I'm going to put you on the spot a lot, so you can always just can you play just a little bit of Pass Me Not?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Pass me not, O gentle Savior, hear my humble cry. So it's that kind of country, you know. Savior, hear my humble cry. So it's the same melody, you know, it's just kind of a different style. And actually, Sam sings that one on the album. She sounds awesome on it.
Yeah.
So
She is good.
yeah. You know, sometimes it's writing a whole new melody, or sometimes it's just putting a new.
Now you've
twist
also
on
written
it.
a couple though that are may include some old hymns in them. But they're completely new songs.
Yes.
Talk about a couple of those.
Absolutely.
It was funny because one Sunday, what's the one that ends with Church in the Wildwood? Is this Chapel in the
Chapel
Wood?
in the
Right?
Wood. Yep.
So I was like, oh, this is a song that James Kelly wrote. And I'm like, he did not write
Half of
Church
it.
in the Wildwood. And I was like, he's not giving credit. I was like, I think that thing's been in the public domain for about 500 years.
Yeah.
So yes, he did not write that part, but all the rest of the part he wrote.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're not trying to trick anybody.
That,
Right,
part, that
right.
Amazing Grace part, he didn't write
I
that.
know, copyright law and licensing. Yeah, no. Chapel in the Wood is one of those that
That's the big one that's going to be.
Yes.
There's a video this week that's coming out that you and Jeff have done.
Yes.
So by the time this podcast comes out, you'll be able to check that out if you go to Chapelwood's YouTube.
Also on his Facebook, our Facebook.
On James Kelly has a Facebook page. If you're not following that, he's only followed by like
About
8.2 million people. I think everybody in China
half
follows
of
him.
Asia.
He's number one in Thailand.
You know what? It's crazy. A lot of people in the Philippines I've noticed that
Really?
that follow some of our.
How many
they-
followers do you
gospel.
have actually?
I think I just passed 100,000. So
100,000.
Yeah,
100,000.
I would never have thought. 5 years ago when I started doing this, I had 100. So I would,
It really exploded during the pandemic.
It really did.
Like you and Cam both. I mean,
Well, yeah.
people coming
Absolutely. I know we had
community
some
as much as anything.
Exactly. We had some conversations about keeping that going. We kind of started it before COVID, but once all that happened, it was like, this is something that, everyone's at home, and we would just go live, doing dueling pianos, playing hymns, gospel songs.
And if you don't know, Cameron Cody is our director of music ministry, does traditional music. He also has a site page. But you two play together a lot on Facebook Live.
Yeah, we go live a lot together and individually. Actually, I'm going to be going live. Well, this will come out later, but tonight I'll be going live to kind of plug the Chapel in the Wood album as well. But yeah, we'll go live and just take requests, on Facebook, and people put their favorite hymn or worship song.
My mom watches every one of these.
Oh yes, we love Marty.
They know her by name.
My mom does too. She doesn't comment quite as much, but I know she watches everything that I'm in.
Talk about, Chapel in the Wood is the one that's it just really is special to me, because I know it applies to the Christian faith as a whole, but has a special kind of home here because we're Chapelwood, and you're playing off of the whole thing together. But talk a little bit about writing that song.
Absolutely. So it is a special song. Like I said, it came from a place of I wanted to write something that was specific to Chapelwood, but also that spoke to the larger experience of at least for me growing up in church. The first verse talks about singing "Jesus Loves Me" and singing these great songs of the faith every Sunday, and then growing up, it's like faith isn't quite as simple as it seemed when you were a kid, and the stuff that life throws at you. How do you go back to that that simplicity of that faith, and also find a community? I think for someone that grew up in church, as familiar and comfortable as it is, because I'm so used to it, people like me can also struggle with really feeling like not just a sense of belonging, but is church something that I'm doing for others, or is this something that's for me? Growing up, and I was always playing, singing something. It was always up front, and playing in the orchestra or playing in the handbell choir, singing in the choir. And so the song was, speaks into some of those themes of like belonging and trying to find a place that I believe Chapelwood is, which is a place of acceptance and grace and welcoming. And, with everything going on in the world, I think people are looking for community and a place where they're not going to be judged, where they're free to be themselves. And so I hope that this song speaks to people, certainly at Chapelwood.
All right, so now you have to play it.
Okay, let me take a little
hydration break.
Swig
Can
of
John
water
and I
here.
sing back up?
I'm going to sing back up. I've
Yes,
heard
please.
it enough. I think I
I
can.
know you could.
You probably could.
You got a really good voice too.
We did it,
I'll be Sam, and you can be Kelly.
Yes. We spent so much time, in the studio and everything. I think we were all like, all right, let's never play this song again until Christmas or whatever. So I'm ready now. It's been long enough. All right, here we go. Do you remember when we were younger, singing Jesus loves me? It came real easy to believe. Faith seemed simple when we were little, singing songs of glory every Sunday morning. Where else would we be? But now we're older, life feels colder. Wish I could be so sure of a hope so pure, but I'm not where I wanna be. Are you tired? Are you weary? Feeling lost, misunderstood? Bring your doubts and bring the questions that you never thought you could. I know a place of sanctuary, a little grace will do you good. I will meet you in the morning at the chapel in the wood. Could Jesus really love me? What if his people judge me? Sometimes it's hard enough not to be so tough on myself. Lord knows I'm not perfect, but maybe it'll all be worth it if I can finally find a place where I'm finally safe, just to be who I'm called to be. Yeah, yeah. Are you tired? Are you weary? Feeling lost, misunderstood? Bring your doubts and bring the questions that you never thought you could. I know a place of sanctuary, a little grace will do you good. I will meet you in the morning at the chapel in the wood. There's the little church in the wildwood part. Oh, come to the church in the wildwood. Oh, come to the church in the dale. No spot is so dear to my childhood as the little brown church in the vale. No spot is so dear to my childhood as the little brown church in the vale. There you go.
It's great.
Taste.
You know, sometimes I always
Thanks,
wonder.
Jeff.
I remember. Thank you, Jeff. I always remember when that guy. You said we read a lot into songs, and I remember that guy that showed up at John Lennon's house. You know, and he was like, "Do you ever see this old video?"
Oh yeah.
There's this like kid looked like he was stoned out of his head, and he goes, "You know, what did you mean by I'm the walrus, whatever?" And he goes, "It was just silly talk, man. It didn't mean anything. It was nothing." He's like, "No, it had to mean something." He goes, "Come on in, let me feed you a sandwich or something."
Yeah.
No, it's but I listened to this song and I'm thinking, you know, you're starting out with this uncertainty of the faith that you've grown up and experienced, and then that song's like, "There's no other place." Like my, you know, that's that little
From your childhood,
There's no other place.
Spot is so dear.
Spot is so dear.
Yeah, to my
so it's almost kind of like this journey.
It is
on the song that it's through the chapel in the wood, through this experience of authentic faith.
100%.
That kind of gets you back to the old. It kind of gets you to a new place in the old place.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It deposits you to a place you've been
chapel
before,
in the-
but you're a different person.
In the
now.
Wildwood, the church in the Wildwood.
Which you know, and that was the experience I was trying to speak to. Is like, you know, obviously there's a lot of great stuff. You know, it's like again, you remember those nostalgic memories from childhood, and for me, you know, singing these hymns and gospel songs that I grew up singing, like it's brings you back to that place. But then it's also that juxtaposition of like, you know, when you get older and it's like, wow, you know, it's not quite as simple as it felt.
One of the things I love about this song is Christian Wyman, a poet and a writer I love, says if you believe the same thing at 50 that you did at 15, you
Right.
did not grow.
Yeah.
And so to grow up in a faith where your belief is a set of statements around, you know, something that we assent to, and then we begin to question that. A lot of people think they have to leave church rather than no.
Right.
You're just growing out of a developmental
Get rid of the
place.
doubters. Yeah.
Yeah, right,
Exactly.
right. No,
Yes.
doubt welcome here.
Right,
It's
exactly.
it's about that, and I think
I
that
love that.
song is really helpful to, like, to invite people to that space of doubt, which is not about not believing. It's about creating a larger aperture and space for working out our faith together.
And that's been one of the really cool things, you know, talking about over the pandemic and just how things have changed. I mean, our concert coming up, a special lady who's helping to sponsor the concert, her husband, who I played his funeral service several years ago, but she told me that he was one of those who kind of found, you know, came back to church because of music and stuff he saw online. And that obviously that means so much to me as someone who does that. But to, like you said, you know, Chapelwood I think is a special place because it is a place where questions and doubts are, you know, just part of working out your faith, and it's not something that you're going to be judged or shamed over.
Do you like Christmas season?
I love it, yes. And you know what's crazy, and I'm sure you're in the same boat, is by the time it gets here...
No, don't read in between that.
I'm just saying that was a leading question, sir.
Was that a trap?
Finish his answer before you start.
Okay, sorry.
Do you like Black Sabbath? Oh, wait.
I love Black Sabbath. Okay, I do. I truly do.
So do you love Christmas?
By the time, we spend so much time planning Christmas, by the time October rolls around, I'm already ready because I'm already planning all the music and everything. And so, it only comes around once a year. I like it. Yeah.
And yes, I do have a tree up. We don't have it decorated yet, but I bought a new tree.
Yeah.
And my wife is really upset because I got it too big. And so
we had to Shocker.
We had to move. We had to move.
We had to buy a new house.
Right. Cut a hole in the roof.
So it was if my grandson Henry is like now he can actually he came in the other day and he's like he wants to touch every light.
Oh yes,
that's great.
Yes,
it's just so that's gonna be really special and magical.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
But we listen to XM Radio's got Christmas music on and I'm listening to it, so you can suck it.
No, I love it. I'm with you. You know what I've been listening to? Michael McDonald's Christmas.
Oh yes.
And when he sings "Be Not Afraid" in that voice, I start crying. I'm like, I actually believe him. I think, okay, I won't be afraid.
Did you ever hear that Michael McDonald sings "Old MacDonald"?
No, is that
Michael McDonald had fall.
I have not heard that.
Yeah, go look up Michael McDonald sings "Old MacDonald." That's really good. So, other songs that you've written. There was another one that you sang recently. Is it called Grace?
Oh, yeah. God's Grace. God's Grace. Yeah, and it's another one of those that kind of takes the old grace that is greater than our sin, I think is the name of the hymn. But
what were the one you were thinking? You were thinking of something different than I was thinking of.
Oh, I was thinking, so there's one we're doing on the album that it's another completely original one. It doesn't, use a hymn or anything, called Lord Knows. It's another very country one. The album is it's got a lot of different styles on it. It's very, Chapelwood has its own kind of, musical identity, which I love. We've always had that kind of folksy side to us. And so it does have some country kind of flair to it, as well as some gospel and of course, contemporary. But this song is one of the ones so there will be some live tracks on the album that are actually pulled from Sunday morning worship. And so this is one of those, Lord knows if y'all want. I can play a little bit of it. This is one I need to definitely take a swig of water because
you gotta be hydrated as a musician.
It starts. I'm drinking water constantly. It starts off pretty high. I hope I don't scare y'all with this first note here.
I'll plug my ears.
Heart's beating out of my chest. God, my enemies are chasing me, they're calling me out, telling me to give up now. Bad thoughts are bringing me down. Lord knows I've been flat out, knocked out, broke down, and burned down. Lord knows He got me reeling, but Lord knows how I'm feeling. And Lord knows I had to be strong and keep calm and carry on for too long. And Lord knows I need a healing. And Lord knows how I'm feeling. Lord knows. Ooh. Come on, back up, singers.
I'm ready now.
He knew it. Heart's beating out of my chest. God, my enemies are chasing me, they're calling me out and telling me to give up now. bad thoughts are bringing me down. Lord knows I've been flat out, knocked out, broke down, and burned down. Lord knows I got me reeling, but Lord knows how I'm feeling. And Lord knows I had to be strong and keep calm and carry on for too long. And Lord knows I need a healing, but Lord knows how I'm feeling. Lord knows. Come on.
Ready to go on tour with James.
I hear Jeff back there too.
Come on, Jeff.
God, I'm running through the valley of the shadow of death. I ain't got much time left, but Lord knows my every breath.
I love that song.
You know what? And I love that song too. That one came out of like, well, first of all, I'm sure you grew. I don't know if you grew up in the South or not, but Lord knows
He
it was
looks
like
like
a
a
common.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, no, you grew up in of
Dallas.
course, yes,
It's a
Texas.
Yankee.
A Yankee, I am.
But Lord knows was kind of one of those phrases like, you know, like
Lord
bless
knows.
their heart or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, you know, catch-all phrases. But it kind of popped in my head like with the story, you know, just the whole message of the gospel and the incarnation is Jesus, you know, taking on flesh, and the Lord literally knows, you know, what we're dealing with and what we're going through. And so that's kind of where that idea came from. So that one's on the album too.
And
check it
so
out.
you got some Christmas stuff on there. So
Yes,
the
yes.
season, but then you have some
Well-
other things that are not Christmas.
Yes, so the concert will be
The concert has Christmas. The album does
the
not.
album
have
is not Christmas. I know that's a little bit confusing because you know the release is in
I'll
December,
get
but-
there.
Can we do a
gotta give you
Christmas
some
album
time.
sometime?
So
Maybe a Christmas,
Christmas
album.
albums, you know, are interesting.
we should do a Christmas album sometime.
But we did, I think during, you can actually go back and find on
Oh, yeah.
on the YouTube channel. If you go back to Christmases past, we probably ought to like pin it during that. And I think we did one year. We kind of re-put it out. It was when y'all did the Christmas concert
yeah.
out at Mark Hauser's
Yes,
band.
yeah. The Christmas
Remember
specials.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
We
it
did
was
two of those.
was that during COVID or after COVID?
I thought it was,
That was during COVID.
it was during, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, because
It was
that
amazing.
we used to do when Wayne was here,
Mm-hmm.
Wayne Watson. We would do a Wayne and Friends, you know, Christmas
Yes,
thing,
yes.
and someone would come. And then, kind of when COVID came, that kind of didn't happen anymore.
Of course.
And then we have a big carols and keyboards. We have a Christmas
Mm-hmm.
thing, but we decided to do the contemporary more
Yeah,
as a
bring it
video
back, yeah.
package
Right.
type deal.
Yeah, the last couple of years we've done. Jeff and his crew are amazing. They come out to like we did it one year at the
Oh,
Hauser
you did
Ranch.
one little gazebo. It was
And
like
then last year, I think
last
it was
year.
just
The
last
event
year,
space.
yeah. Somewhere up in Montgomery, I think, somewhere in that area.
See,
They
those
have
the
a
great
nice-
thing about that when you do like a Christmas special like that, they just throw it back out there and say, "Hey, you may."
Yeah. Change the date and keep going.
That's true. You know, I had hair back
I'm
then.
still
but-
listening. Like I pull up holiday traditions, and they're playing
Yeah.
Bing Crosby. That
Oh,
guy's
yeah.
been dead 100 years. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Get
I'm
better.
still listening to him.
That's true. It's true. Yeah. No, we didn't do an in-person live concert the last few years, of course, with COVID. But we had some really cool, outdoor Christmas video specials that we were able to do. And so this is our first year doing a live in-person one. I hope people come. No, it's going to be awesome. It's the week after Carols and Keyboards, and we're going to be featuring our
You
youth
know
band.
You know what's good about that?
Yes.
Is you get a lot of the promo in carols and keyboards, and you get the promo with the youth band. I think it
Absolutely.
Yes.
I hope they'll give us a shout out in Carols and Keyboards. No, I know they will. Yeah, I'm really excited about featuring our youth band. They've been
That's awesome.
Doing it.
That's gonna be exciting.
Preparing some really cool stuff. There's a lot of energy and momentum.
And that's December
in that program.
12th.
That's December 12th, a Thursday night. We put it on Thursday because hopefully Christmas office parties and all that usually are on Fridays. So hopefully everyone can come out Thursday, December 12th at 7, and we're gonna have a great show for you. Like I said, it'll be mainly Christmas, but then in the middle we're gonna feature the album and do songs from the album and feature the youth as well. So it'll be a good time. I'm excited.
James, we love you, man, and
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks for
you being a
coming,
part
too.
of this family.
Appreciate y'all having me.
I'm
I'm
It's
excited.
going to be a great season. It's a busy season.
Yeah.
Because now, like, I know it's real early, but, we were We no longer do an 11 p.m. service,
Right.
Because we are moving more like the Baptists. We don't do the late night services anymore.
Give those over to the Catholics.
We let the Catholics and the
Episcopalians.
Episcopalians. They got that ground covered
Yeah.
at 11 p.m. But we are going to add one. Is it at 6:30 in the morning that you're doing
No,
this?
it's not at 6:30. It's at noon.
Is it noon?
It's a
Have you
nooner.
settled on that? Or
Yes, we've settled.
It's
on
noon.
That. It's noon.
All right, so noon.
I'll be there for that
There,
one.
and James is going to be leading
Sarah
the
will be
music. It's
there.
going to be very simple, kind of
Oh, yeah.
Christmas Eve
Christmas
service.
carols.
Matt, and are you
Absolutely.
going to be there too, or just Sarah?
I'll be there, and Sarah will be there. We'll be doing communion.
Love it.
You'll sing and lead worship, and
Christmas.
Chapelwood.org/Christmas for all those who are around, and even if you're not, a lot of these things, I don't know that one will be streamed. But
no,
maybe
we
it
won't
will.
stream that.
But the others, 3, 5, 7, 9, 6:30, 5:30.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Dear
Mercy
Lord.
Street. There's the Center.
You can't throw a rock and not
There's
hit a service.
Gessner. Oh, my
Christmas
gosh,
Eve.
Well,
yeah.
and which I think is amazing, and I know we've spoken about this as well, but we have so many folks that watch us from around the world.
Yeah.
And so, these concerts, same way. We have so many people that watch us remotely, and it's their church for them. It's their community, which I think is amazing. So,
I mentioned on Sunday, but people don't realize, like, in our 3 sanctuary services, streaming live during the hour, we have as many people, there's as many screens viewing as there are people in the room. So if we have 800 or 900 people in those 3 services, there's 800 or 900 screens. And then
that. Yeah.
it's crazy.
It is
That's
I mean,
amazing.
to think about the folks that are there, and they're streaming at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
They're all
I
over.
I hear from folks every week that they watched all 3 services. They'll watch the.
And a
8:30
lot of these folks
45.
got turned on because of James and because of Cam, and then they have to tolerate me
Yeah, exactly.
to get the
John.
music fix that they want. So
That's not it at all. No, they rave about. I mean, Chapelwood really just has a great, everything going on. People rave about it. The preaching, the children's ministry, the youth ministry, the discipleship, everything is wonderful.
well, I appreciate you coming and being with us. and
Yes,
bringing
thank y'all
your-
for having
bringing
me.
your guitar.
Thanks for singing along with me too.
The Chapelwood Band Christmas concert is Thursday, December 12th at 7 p.m. in the Sanctuary. I'm assuming that will be streamed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the video that's coming out on Thursday, that'll be on YouTube and Facebook and all that
The
stuff.
video will be out through Chapelwood channels and through James Kelly. Man, I appreciate you coming. Thanks so much.
Appreciate y'all.
Make sure
Thank
you like and subscribe and share. Go to James Kelly's Facebook page, like, subscribe, share. Go to Cameron Cody's Facebook
Well, and I'm
page.
going to
Go to
share
John
this too. So
Stevens,
I was going to say,
like-
y'all go follow the podcast too, because I'll be
Go
sharing
Go to
this
Pod
as
Have
well.
Mercy
Yeah,
and like,
Pod Have Mercy.
yeah, that's right. If we could
Smash
get
the
everybody from
like
Cameron and James.
We could monetize
Facebook
this thing.
to like, subscribe,
getting some free
share,
coffee around
Pod
here.
Have
Then you would-
Mercy.
you would
we might
quit.
actually get money. Yes, and we
Now,
could
you would
buy
probably-
James a new guitar.
You would
Yes.
quit if you.
That'd be nice. That'd be awesome if we could get that.
No, thank y'all very
Anyway,
much.
well, when we sign off, we just kind of say our name, go around the room. So I'm John Stevens,
I'm James Kelly.
And I'm Matt Russell.
and this is Pod Have Mercy.